Hey guys, this is Pato Award, and you're listening to Indie Sports Podcast. And or what is that? Is that what it's called? Is that
That's
right?
that's perfect.
Or did I say something wrong?
No, trust me, man. I mean, I can edit all this. It's no
What
problem.
is
You
it?
can
What is it again? Indie Sports Podcast or what?
The
the
Indy Sports Car Podcast.
Indie Sports Cars Podcast.
nice. Yeah. If you want to try it again, go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Pato Award, and you're listening to the Indie Sports Car Podcast.
Recording. Missy say something.
Recording. Missy, say something.
Jared.
Jared went to go get something. I don't know what he did.
Well, I'm sure it'll work.
Oh, hey, Wilson. I got a visitor.
It will always be Wilson.
Mm.
Just don't start biting on some wires. You piece of garbage.
Yeah, sorry about that. I needed to head change.
There we go. Okay. Jared.
Oh, is that
say
what
something.
the Ed Carpenter shirt looked like?
Yes,
Space Force? Yes, Wilson.
Jared, just say something so I can get you on the recording here. Make sure it's good.
Yeah, the Space Force is about 10 times better than the Air Force. Although Connor Daly is quite a better driver than Ed Carpenter.
Definitely.
Winnie isn't running out of gas with 2 laps to go.
Exactly.
Because it's funny, I'm sitting there in the communications building, where like our little overflow media center where I was stuck all weekend, and his car came across the line and it sounded really weird. And I'm like, something's not right with that car. And yeah, his car was like out of gas, spitting, sputtering.
Missy's got a halo above her head.
Ah, 'cause I'm an angel. Ah.
Oh. No, you know what I gotta do? I gotta put dimmable ballasts in the lights and dim them. Yeah, that's what I need to do.
Do you have LEDs in there?
No. Fluorescence.
Produce
Oh,
a lot
I know.
of
Yeah.
light.
Dude, you're lucky this is even up. Are you kidding? I haven't been on my I haven't been on my ADHD meds in like a week. I'm so just scatterbrained right now. It's insane. Space Force. It's really just the Star Trek emblem, just not.
They bent it a little bit so that.
Well, no, the Star Wars emblem is bent like that, and they just went like this.
Like a rip off of Star Trek.
That's what I meant. Star Trek. What did I say? Star Wars.
It's a rip off, but they slightly changed it so that it wasn't a complete rip off, but you can tell it was a rip off.
Well, if you ever notice, every space agency has an arrow. NASA, ESA.
To the sky.
Yeah. Or if you're a conspiracy theorist like Greg, I'm sure it means something totally different.
I mean, the Earth is flat, so what's the point of the Space Force? So.
Well, to perpetuate the lie that we've been.
Hit the top of the dome and then.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's why they go in the Ark. You know, they follow the dome.
Oh, but how did they land on another planet?
Well, they don't. They just tell you they do. It's really out in like Iceland or Greenland or something. Who knows? You know, where they test things they want to shoot off to a planet before they shoot off to a planet and test it there. Makes sense. Just saying. Anyways, are we? Oh yeah, we're recording. Okay, so I'll just cut it from. Welcome, ICP fans, to another episode where Frank gets a call from.
The moment he hits record, he gets a phone call.
Every time. Sorry, silence, silence, silence. There, it's silence.
Interesting. It's not on the agenda calendar.
What?
The RTI series for Millville.
NJMP or
Yeah.
MPNJ? No, New Jersey and NJMP.
NJMP.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
first time.
It's not on their event calendar though.
Yeah, because it may not even be open to fans. That's why I would recommend just going to road.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to come cover the event.
Well, I'm just gonna take a ride there, like I don't know, tomorrow or Saturday, and just be like, "Yo, what up? Media here, representing."
I mean, whatever gets you in the door.
And I'm going the David Land route with the Notre Dame hat, keeping the stickers on so I can return it and get some
Bruce
else.
Martin route.
Huh?
Going the Bruce Martin route.
No,
Martin loves him some Notre Dame.
no. I was making. I was giving David some ass the other day because every video he does, he has a hat that represents the team he's talking about. You know, but it's always like nice and flat. You know, with all the stickers. It's like, so are you returning them to Amazon and buying the next?
Yeah. Yeah. His budget is like $15, whatever the cost of one of them is, because then he just returns it and gets a new one.
I do it all the time. I'm not knocking him for it. I mean, I'm going to be doing the same thing.
Some people, I tell ya.
Yeah, he's good people. I like David. I like David because he's like sometimes like I go, are
Yeah.
are you being like a contrarian for contrarian's sake? But you know, a lot of times he's not. So I respect that taking on, you know, unpopular positions on things. You know, does that make sense? Yeah, that looks good. I like that. All right. So hey Missy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi Jared.
Oh, hi.
What's up, everybody? We're back. It's
I
been
see you there.
oh, yeah, yeah. So got a lot to go over. I mean, we moved. Can you see? We moved. There's no guitars. You know, no nothing.
Sold them all?
No, they're all laying out in the next room.
Well, you want to run around and talk about guitars like I ain't got none? Like I sold them all? I hope you sold them all.
You'll
Say-
trip over him walking out of this room.
Yeah, saying Dre fell off.
Yeah.
I ain't having that. This is the
Alright.
millennium of aftermath.
Yep,
Ain't
ain't
gonna be nothing after that. So give me
Otherwise-
one more rat and tech rap. You can have it back. So where's all the mad rappers?
Alright, enough, Frank. Let's get on to some racing.
It's like a something in this habitat. So give me one more platinum plaque.
So what we're going to do, a road to Indy here first?
Sure, fill us in. Parker's engine blew, of course.
Well, we'll start at the bottom. And now we're here with a little mid-Ohio action with the USF 2000. And what a weekend it was. Considering going into the weekend, Christian Rasmussen was up by 50 points over Reese Gold going into the weekend. And it looked like a sure end it was going to be Rasmussen winning the pole for the first race. And then some bad luck. I wouldn't say bad luck, it was bad skill for Rasmussen. The first race, he ended up spinning himself from the lead on his own.
Just like Dixon?
Yeah, just going into turn 4 there.
Which you have to remind people what turn that is because Mid-Ohio's turns are just make no sense.
Straight there, coming out of the keyhole, you go down really long straight, and then there's a right-hander.
A slight right-hander, yeah.
No, the heavy right-hander.
Oh, what the
At the end of the longest straight.
Oh, where Santino Ferrucci went off and then came back on like a moron.
That later, but Rasmussen just ended up spinning himself there. He just carried a little too much speed, whatever, spun it out, ran off track, ended up doing a little bit to the car, and
Ooh.
was only able to recover to 14
And
after the race.
and then Jay Howard threw his headset. He was just like, beepity bleep, bleepity bleep, bleep.
That's a real bugger. And a lot of bloody and probably other words that we can't say here.
And a whole lot of C words in between.
Yeah. But, I mean, his Rasmussen's loss was a gain of Cape Motorsports. I mean, Michael D'Orlando was able to take home the race win. He started third, got past his teammate Reese Gold, who started second finished, or started and finished second, which is good for Reese Gold. That was good for his championship. And then later on, in the second race, well, I mean, Reese Gold won that one from pole, but once again, you don't even see Christian Rasmussen here. You see him all the way 20th. He didn't
Oh
even...
my goodness, what happened?
Well, he did finish. He finished 2 laps down. Well, he got involved in a racing incident, lap 1, in the same area, which caused him to, a few laps later, to cut a tire, went flat, and he ended up bringing out a full course caution because of flat tire and had to go get it changed and ended up 2 laps down.
Whose fault was it?
20th. So by the end of Saturday, the gap was cut to 4 points.
So Sunday had to be a good race for him.
50 to 4.
Yep.
And that goes into
Repeat those numbers one more time. The what to 4? 50 to what?
50, like Rasmussen had a 50-point lead going into the weekend, and after the second of 3 races, that lead was 4 points.
Yikes.
A 56-point swing in 2 races.
So he's no longer.
Yeah, I mean, Rasmussen was in the lead, was still leading the championship, but only by 4 points. But fortunately, he was able to redeem himself with a good performance on Sunday, which I was actually up on the hill with Jay Howard, and Jay was happy. It was a good comeback for them. I mean, Reese Gold was able to finish third, so the new championship lead is only 13 or 14 points. Still very close, with a handful or like another 4 or 5 races left. But Michael D'Orlando was able to finish second. D'Orlando was actually leading the race with a few laps to go, and he made a mistake himself in the carousel, just braked too late and ran it wide. He almost went into the pit lane. He carried so much speed, he almost went into pit in instead of making the last corner.
And that last corner is like a first gear almost.
Able to get by and win. But yeah, that last corner there in the carousel.
That's
not the left-hander onto the straight, but like that long sweeping right-hander
Yeah.
pit lane. That is a tough, and it's an off-camber angled. Like there's some elevation to that.
Oh yeah, I mean, just
you
go.
Don't see it in the sim, but it's there, and it will mess up your car's handling.
What do you mean? Like the sim has it perfect.
I know sim has it perfect, but when you're at speed and you're in the sim, you don't really see that elevation change as much as you would in real life if you were driving over it, because like it's a computer screen. It's a smaller representation versus all around. It's harder to see that elevation in the sim than in real life.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's the same thing. You race Barber.
Who was it?
Racing, and it doesn't look like much of elevation. Then you go to Barber and you're dying. Your legs are dying from walking up and down hills all day.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. Mid Ohio and Mid Ohio and it's Mid Ohio's not as bad as Road America, but it's still pretty.
Barber's probably, I'd say. I mean, Road America is a lot, but it's over such a spread out area. Versus Barber is a lot of elevation in a short space.
I'm in more pain from Road America than any other track I ever go to. So that tells me everything I need to know about that. I mean, that's my. What the heck is the website called again? Isn't it Indy Racing TV or something? Or RoadIndy.tv?
RoadIndy.tv.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The .tv screws me up every time.
And then Indy Pro
Oh,
2000.
not now. God, no.
Sorry, we're not talking about Indy Pro 2000.
Yes, we are.
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, you said not now, not now.
No, I was talking about my Lenovo wanting to restart itself after an update. You know how Windows has 7 updates every quarter of the hour. Ridiculous.
Well, Indy Pro 2000, they just had a doubleheader. Race Saturday, Daniel Frost started on pole, but Manuel Suleiman from another young driver from Mexico City, trying to follow in Pato Award's footsteps, coming out of there, he was able to get the win.
Pato Award's not from Mexico City.
Oh, well, he's from Mexico. Close enough.
No, it's not. He's from Texas.
What?
He lives in Texas.
It's just because he lives in Texas.
He's American. He's got an American passport. And besides, he's Irish anyway. He's lucky the Irish Pato Awardees.
I think he's flying under. I think he's driving under the Mexican flag. Though.
I know he is because he's got dual citizenship. Well, he's actually got 3. He's American, Irish, and Mexican. He is half Irish, people.
Yes, he lives in Mexico, huh?
When? Because he told me he lived in
Monterrey, Mexico.
Yeah, that's the official where he lives. That's not really.
Hometown.
Yeah, that's not really where he lives.
And his residency.
I know him well enough to tell you that half of that's wrong.
Oh, here you go. Although a native of Mexico, attended high school in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh,
and has lived in Dallas area for several
really?
years.
Oh, you mean so I do know him personally? Oh my God, I'm not lying the whole time.
Never
Yeah,
really
I don't
noticed.
text him every week. No, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know, Frank.
Anyway,
Moving on.
really upset with Parker. You know, he needs to stop.
Be upset with Parker. Be upset with Parker's equipment.
No. Let me finish. Let me finish what I was going to say. I'm really upset with Parker and his just horrible luck at Mid-Ohio. Because
Mid-Ohio's not his track. It really isn't.
By the way, Jared, really good interview with Rob Howden over the weekend. And appreciate what you guys said at the end there. I like that. That was very sweet. Thank you very much. I like that. I would like to know, to the contrary of who's saying what. I don't know where that comment came from, but we'll have to talk later about that.
Yeah, it was really nice getting to catch up with Rob and everybody at the chat. Mike Yoakum, Pit Lane Parlay, sat next to him most of the weekend until he got the call up to the big leagues.
Uh-oh. Well,
they had all the media in the I was relegated to the overflow building. You know, across from pit lane and the track, there's that wide building where the TV and radio is.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they put overflow media, which ended up being me, Mike, and the photographers. Well, on Sunday, Mike got the call up to the big league, so he got to go to the tower.
ooh.
The 3rd floor of the tower with Kate and Arnie and all Bruce Martin, Tim May, and Steve Whitt.
Bottom line is, if
basically he got screwed, and I got to sit in the comm building by myself all day long, which allowed me to hot mic from there.
sweet. Bottom line is, I look at it like this. I'm proud of Mike, and if he's going to literally quit his job and make doing podcasting for IndyCar a full-time job, then he deserves to be up there.
Yeah, he's a hard worker. He's smart. He's good. I really like him, and I'm glad to see that he's able to turn it into something that can actually support more than just fun times if it can support its life.
Exactly, and
Not many out there that I know of in IndyCar media that their life, their livelihood is derived from writing and talking about IndyCar. For
right.
a lot of it, it's just a labor of love. We do it for fun.
Yeah, we don't make a dime doing this except
You know,
for
we don't
going.
make money. We do it because it's fun and we enjoy racing. We want to give back to the fans.
Yeah, and
All makes it hard.
and this is our 6 years straight doing it, so we are the longest running IndyCar podcast.
And I had made remember I made mention of that.
I know.
To Rob Howden, I had to point that out.
That's why I was saying thank you for that. I like that. I appreciate that. But we're really happy that you've been here for a year now. But what I'm saying is you know we don't do this for as our full time jobs, and you know so us going to the tracks for free, or I don't want to say it for free, but because we do work while we're there, we don't get to enjoy the race like a fan would enjoy it. We're always talking to drivers, or not that it's not fun. I'm not saying it's not, but the payoff to us is going to all the tracks, because we wouldn't be able to afford what we're doing. You know what I mean? And you know fans, they have to drive and park way far away and then get shuttled in. We get shuttled in, by old women in golf carts. It's fun. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah, that is something he knows that Road to Indy was at Mid Ohio already twice this year. In July they had a couple of races, more double headers, and
yeah,
and it was a lot of it is a filler, just because with the loss of St. Pete earlier in the year, Portland, Laguna Seca, they were all supposed to race, or Toronto as a big Road to Indy one. They haven't had a whole lot of opportunities, so they've had to fill it in where they can. And Mid Ohio is relatively close for all the teams.
I do have a question though. Is has St. Pete officially given the "we're not doing it this year" flag, or
The last race of the year?
they are still going to be the last race of the year?
Yeah, the 23rd, 24th, 25th.
Okay, so they just said that. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, guys. Moving, into a house has been a huge undertaking that I did not expect. Um, yeah, and yeah, so I've been a little bit out of it. So haven't been but we got Jared here that's going to all the races for us. So, represent
as many as they will allow.
exactly. And I mean, you're not only there representing ICP, you're also representing your own journalistic endeavors, which is
RealOpenWheel.com.
what is that again?
RealOpenWheel.com. You'll actually see here in a second, because the other big topic of the week, will have it up on my website that I'll show.
Right on. And the Rob Howden interview, where I guess Rob's mic wasn't working, but yours was. I don't know what that was about, but it's okay. You'll get better at that.
What?
Just
Nothing wrong with Rob's mic.
okay, wasn't working, but it was coming through yours. Anyway, my point being is, it was a really good interview, and if you want to check it out, either go to any of our many, many, many podcast outlets, even YouTube, or go to our Twitter, and it's our pinned comment on Twitter, and that's at ISCP Podcast. So real easy to find. But you can find out stuff at where, Missy?
www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
And we did a little bit of new renaming. It is now the IndyCar Sports Car Podcast.
No, it's not.
Officially, it is.
No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not.
Well, through iTunes, it is. And Podbean is. But as far as everything else, it's at the Indy. It's just so when you search IndyCar on different podcatcher apps, we pop up faster. That's all. So, but as far as real branding goes, it's still the Indy Sports Car Podcast. So, as Pato probably told you at the beginning of the show, I'm sure, because I use Pato's beginning every time. Anyways, So throwing myself under the bus like that. Let's move on. Yeah, Parker's engine blew the first race, and Parker was close to the the top of the points. He wasn't at the top at the time, but he could have taken command and lead if he finished well this weekend. What happened, Jared?
What? In the first race, he blew his engine.
Yeah, what happened in the second race?
He finished second.
Okay, so okay, I'm looking at it like a second behind too. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, there's only like one passing zone in Mid Ohio, and you have to set it up between 3 different turns to even make one happen. So
Yeah, your only option to really pass is to keep it close on their bumper coming out of the keyhole and then draft up and pass them.
yeah, four, hang it outside 5, keep it on the outside. So when you go into 6, you force them to go behind you. And that move right there that Parker did as a rookie in USF 2000 6 years ago almost is when I saw him do that, and I said he either got lucky or he meant to do that, and that's what made me go find the kid because nobody else in USF 2000 was doing that at the time.
I love how Frank takes credit for all that.
I didn't say I yes, Missy pointed it out. Yeah, okay.
No, Missy, I was already talking to Parker before this, and I had every intention of hunting him down when Frank seen this move.
Right. And I didn't know who he was until I saw that. And I said, "Who was that? Was that Parker?" She's like, "Yeah, that's Parker." I'm like, "Okay, now I do want to find find him." Yeah. Anyways, he was so young then. He didn't have a driver's license at that point.
I still remember meeting him in 2016, his rookie year in USF 2000. Met him at Indy. There on the road course. The girl I was dating at the time became infatuated with him, so we ended up like talking to him for quite a while.
Is that the same one that we hung out with you and her at Mid Ohio?
No,
No, or was that Josh? Is that Josh or was that you?
no, that was me.
Okay.
A different girl.
Yeah, I thought so. I was pretty sure it was different. Yeah.
Mm.
Anyways.
But yeah, congratulations, Stingray Rob. In the second race there, he's able to extend his points lead. And with a name like that, I have a feeling we'll be seeing him in Indy Lights next year with a scholarship.
Under UCOS, definitely.
Yeah, you're driving for Yuncos. That's good equipment and awesome, just an awesome team.
How many more races do they have left on the season?
There is 3, a triple header for Indy Pro and New Jersey Motorsports Park.
Yeah, 5 miles away from where we just moved. Nice. Yeah. Out in the middle of the boons.
I believe USF 2000 is also, triple header at New Jersey.
Nice. Yeah, I think Saturday Missy and I are going to make a pilgrimage, 10 minutes away and make sure that we're on some...
all day, bring your camera, record up some stuff, record some audio. We can play it on the air with a podcast. Yeah. I got to clean up the audio. I did some interviews with USF 2000 podium on Sunday.
Did you take advantage of the Podbean app recorder?
No, I just put it on my phone. I was going to then go back and...
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the Podbean app recorder on your phone is amazing. I'm telling you.
Oh, well, I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, it's really incredible. The sound quality from it is like just incredible. It really is. It blew me away the first time I used it.
So yeah, the big boys. Indycar had double header in Mid Ohio.
Race 1 was a great race.
I mean, it wasn't as action packed like as...
Sure was.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was not a single caution.
Yeah, I mean, even Marco Andretti, finished.
Yeah, only 4 cars were lapped down.
And two were Andretti.
Yeah,
Zach Beach and Marco Andretti. The other two Andretti drivers, the only other two Andretti drivers that didn't make the podium on the second race.
Yeah.
Being as though Andretti locked up the podium on the second race.
Yep, we'll just skip over the winner of the first race. Nobody cares about him.
What do you mean? A lot of people do. 2/3 of the show does.
There was a
You know,
great winner.
Jared. To be honest with you, Missy.
No, I'm going to be honest with
Missy.
you. Will
What?
doesn't look like he cares anymore.
What do you mean?
So, like watching him do the post race, like the presser and like the victory circle, the podium celebration, he just looked and no energy, no smiles. Like even the photographer, Michael Levitt, LAT, he was telling me like he just looked so sad. Like he just had no energy and just was so blah about it. I mean, even winning the pole
Because
there,
this entire season has been such a dude. This entire
why not show some real happy emotion when you actually get off the schneid and put in a dominant performance from beginning to end? Why not be, woo, yeah, go really
because look,
sell that you're
him
happy
him winning.
that it finally came together for you, and instead it's all just blah. I mean, the picture
Let
of him,
let me ask you something. Let
like
me
he looked like Jesus. He's just like,
let me ask you something, Jared.
just it's bad.
Let me ask you something, Jared.
He's got no energy, and it's a contract. He's acting like he doesn't want to come back to Penske, and maybe he doesn't.
He'd be a fool not to. My point being is, now this year you can agree that it's been totally and utterly insane.
What do you mean? There's nothing insane or crazy happening this year. It's a totally normal year.
Okay, number one, Will has.
He didn't even do anything. Didn't even react to that.
This year has been so insane. Are you kidding me? Look, like, Will got his 61st pole.
I almost said 60th, but then I always forget about surfers.
That's right, 61st asterisk pole. There you go, Fo. And then, and he won a race that he should, he's lost 2 races this year alone from. He lost Road America, one of the races because of his pit crew, and he lost. Was it the Indy Road Course?
Are you sure that was his pit crew's fault?
Yeah, it was the left tire changer.
It was Iowa.
That's it. And then Iowa's pit crew.
Iowa was the left tire changer because his wheel fell off in the corn.
Yeah. But no, I'm saying that he lost Road America because I forget exactly who got held up, but he was in the lead and then he came out in like 4th or something. And he couldn't recover because I was listening to the scanner. He was mad. Yeah, they cannot play Will's. They can never play Will's radio over the broadcast.
Cut it or censor it.
It would just be.
No, it's just like when he won the Indy 500 and it was like, yeah, show me respect, and then they cut it right there.
Yeah, there was a lot more he said after that.
Forget about the last word he says after "show me respect."
What was it, Jared?
I don't have the bleep sound here anymore.
No, show me respect.
Something that people would do to Frank's mother.
And they have, yes,
Yeah.
at least twice that I know of.
I mean, that doesn't include when Lamar comes over.
No, he's just fixing the floorboards.
He's just fixing the squeaky floorboards.
God, I can't.
I know because I used to watch from the bushes outside and tug him up back.
All right, that's enough of that.
Okay, enough of Chip. I'm sorry.
But then the second race had a little bit more action to it. Had some some crashes, some
Santino Ferrucci putting Rosenquist out of the race totally.
some people in the NBC booth doing one of these, little sucking action of Santino even after.
He hasn't earned it. What has he done? I mean, I watched the whole replay. Herta
Herta did run it wide.
Herta. I'm not saying. Look, I'm not. Oh, I'm sorry, Jared. I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I get Herta running wide in that corner because you're on the inside. You have to carry speed, otherwise you're going to get lost by the guy on the inside. But when you brake late like that, it's just going to push your car out and pushes the other guy off track when you run too wide.
It really reminded me of Portland from last year in Indy Lights, or 2 years ago, I mean, from Indy Lights. Remember that? How Herta just totally took out the entire field doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It was a racing incident, and then Santino was like, well, I mean, I got knocked off the track, so I'm not going to slow down. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to re-enter the track.
And take Rosenquist right out.
The earliest possible opportunity.
I do not believe he took Rosenquist out. I believe he took Paolo out that took Rosenquist out.
Who then took out Rosenquist.
Yes.
Rosenquist was the worst, got the worst end of the deal of that whole thing.
Oh, no, I would say Pelot did, because Pelot was his teammate.
Yeah.
And was just driving, and then all of a sudden,
he gets hip checked.
Santino's like, oh, I'm just going to re-enter the track here wherever I want.
Which you don't do.
Whatever I want.
You don't do that. You go off track because Herta forced you off. Herta's fault. Should have accrued a penalty. He didn't. Right? He shouldn't have won this race. He should have gotten a penalty for that. But he didn't get it. Fine. Santino sucks. I get it. But you wait. You don't come back onto the track, especially there. I mean, it's such a bad spot to do that. There's no room to do that. I mean, they're too wide, barely.
I think it's kind of cute that you think Santino Ferrucci would have thought to just stop and wait and not come back onto the track.
I know. Who am I talking about again?
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that. Just stop and wait for everyone.
Still love Adrian Millward's. You know, even Santino finished P4, even though he's a Class A. Beep! And I couldn't have said it better myself. The kid does impress me, even though he's a Class A. Beep! You know? There's two drivers that, if their PR, approached us with an interview or whatever, I would decline. Well, Missy would decline on my behalf. Yes. Now, for the people who listen to the podcast, you should really, really check out our live streams that we do every Thursday at 8, so you can see the visuals that we post up on YouTube, or go back and watch the podcast whenever you want to. Right now, Jared's got the incident about to be played, so go ahead, Jared.
There's no audio.
No, just there's Herta taking it so wide that, of course, he's going to go off. But there goes Santino, like he's the only one on the track. Pelot goes into the wall. But I believe Pelot did get it back out of the wall, did he not?
No.
Oh, he was out?
I believe he got eliminated, there. So.
Okay. Well, it didn't look as bad as Rosenquist.
Here, Herta runs it like he's already pretty hot into the corner, pretty narrow. Dixon backed way out so he could make the corner, whereas Herta just kept going. So here goes.
Herta did that on purpose. That was an on-purpose move by Herta. I'm sorry, it was.
And from that view, it does look like he ran him right down the track.
Let me turn. Oh, wait, I can't turn until I actually get four wheels on the track.
Yeah, and there goes Rosenquist backwards into the tires as Pelot goes frontwards into the tires. Yep. It was poor form on Santino's. Look, it sucks you got taken out. I agree. You know, Herta, poor form as usual.
And Marco somehow survived it. He ran off into the grass wide, but he survived it.
Oh, look at Marco making sure he doesn't come back on track and take anyone out. See? Because he's used to doing that.
Yeah.
But hey, that's good form by Marco. Hey, positive stuff about Marco Andretti.
Wait, it is September 17th at 8:59 p.m.
Okay, the first time we've ever, yes, we waited.
No, you
Okay, me, fine.
document.
It's documented, set in stone. I've said something positive about Marco Andretti. There you go. Get his face off of the screen, please. That smirk. I'm a, I'm a, I'm a Class A bleep. Ugh. Anywho. All right, so.
Congratulations to Colton getting the win, leading the All Andretti podium. It's the first time that they've had an All Andretti podium since 2005. Frank, I know you love Colton Herta. He is your favorite, one of your favorite drivers. He's so friendly. I made him laugh. I got Colton to laugh in the. I like Colton's grandfather. Colton's grandfather is a Michigan fan versus Colton's father, who went to Ohio State. Barf.
Ugh.
Yeah, so Colton's grandpa is pretty cool, and I made sure to tell Colton that on the press conference. It's like, hey, your grandpa's pretty cool while I'm wearing Michigan gear.
Yeah, Colton something. So his two wins have come from.
But yeah,
His two wins have come from.
Shout out to fans at Mid Ohio who did socially distance. They were pretty good up in the up on the hills, like they're by Madness, like they were all separated out. Most people were wearing masks.
I mean, you're outside, so it's not like you're in a.
I'll admit, I didn't wear my mask the whole time. If there was nobody around me, I didn't wear a mask because there's nobody around me. Who cares?
Right. But if you're doing an interview with somebody, then it's a different story.
Well, I mean, Rob and I didn't wear masks, and we were socially distant. We were about 6 to 10 feet apart in the media building there.
Yeah, I mean,
Apparently sucks because we should have been sitting next to each other because I guess his microphone didn't work the whole time.
which it doesn't matter because you can still hear what he's saying clear as day. It's just a little bit echoey, because you could tell it's coming off of your mic.
It shouldn't have been because I tested it and it worked. His microphone was working.
I'm not arguing with you. You can listen to it if you like.
Well,
Yeah, it's up there.
All right, boys, moving on.
Yeah. So anyway, but it was a good interview. I highly, encourage people to go and check it out. All right, so I mean, just tell us, what was your thoughts on the weekend there, Jared?
it was good. It was good action. Road to Indy, as always, was on par. They put on a good show. You had 4 different pole winners. They did 2 qualifying sessions for each one Saturday, and there were 4 different pole winners, which is always good to have that kind of diversity. You had Reese Gold pulling back within 14 points of Christian D'Orlando in the championship, so it's no longer a runaway. Now you're going to have it's gotten close again, so you're going to get a good fight there. Indy Pro put on another good show. I mean, the field size isn't as large as we'd hope for, but they still put on a good show. Especially in the rain on Sunday, when they were only able to get a couple laps in before the rain was too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when the rain's too much for rain tires, that's a monsoon. And
Yeah, it doesn't even seem that bad, but the ponding and the puddling at Mid-Ohio can get pretty extreme in certain parts of the track.
especially the end, like the last turn going to the straight. Yeah.
that going into the carousel is notorious for
Yeah.
lots of standing water.
Yeah, and it can almost be a dry. It can almost have stopped raining a half hour ago, and that they just cannot. Like that runoff is terrible. But it's such a hilly. It's a natural terrain track. What do you want? I mean, it wasn't purpose built like every F1 track is, you know.
Oh yeah.
So, speaking of F1, Lewis Hamilton didn't win for once. It's amazing. But okay, so moving on from that.
Well, there's some
Wait,
IndyCar news here. Came out yesterday.
Is Sergio Perez going to be here?
No,
Thank goodness.
we have a new track.
I know. What is this? Music City. Is this
Nashville.
Nashville? Right on.
Been confirmed a 3-year deal. Coming
Sweet.
next year, August 6th through 8th.
Andretti Autosport snaps out of a slump on
The other stuff.
Yeah. No, because you remember Andretti had a lot to do with booking tracks until they got sued. I don't know if they do that anymore. That's the biggest reason why Milwaukee's gone.
Oh yeah, it is Andretti Sports Marketing that promoted it.
Yeah, and Baltimore.
But yeah, the
Oh, and Boston, by the way. Boston's what got him sued. We lost Milwaukee and we lost Baltimore because of Boston.
But we get our first ever astronomy. We get
Is that a bridge?
constellation shaped track.
Am I looking at a bridge? Are they racing over top a bridge?
Yes, over water.
That's awesome.
Twice actually per lap.
No kidding.
Yeah, you go. So the lap will start down here, and then turn 1 you'll go up, and there's a long straight, basically a little.
That is one heck of a long straight. What is that? 3 miles?
It's over a half mile.
Oh, so it's not as big as.
Oh, I know. We're going the other way. So turn 1, 2.
I was gonna say. I think you're going backwards. Yeah, it goes clockwise.
Like the central area, the paddock here, right outside Nissan Stadium, the home of the Tennessee Titans. Down here, and then they'll go across the Boulevard Bridge over the Cumberland River, and then have a series of little turns here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then go back over the bridge for a really long straight down into turn 1.
Okay, so it's still a counterclockwise track, okay? Because Mid-Ohio is a clockwise. So actually, counterclockwise tracks are very rare.
Yeah, and it is also notable because the start line and finish line are in different areas. So the start line is in the front stretch leading into turn 1, but the actual finish line is between turns 3 and 4.
Where?
Wait, no, it's not.
Yeah. Where, Jared?
It's between 13 and 14.
Yeah.
The finish line.
Start line,
Okay.
finish line.
Oh, between 13 and 14. Oh, okay.
It's the finish line, yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of like Mid-Ohio in a sense. Okay, because the start line for Mid-Ohio is in between 3 and 4.
Right, versus this one where the finish line is between.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Ohio, the start line is between.
I do like the layout of the track. There's a lot of passing opportunities on this track. Looks like a lot of drafting, a lot of push to passes, just a whole lot of wackiness. It looks like to me, just looking at it, I can point out 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 5 prime passing opportunities. What do you say?
Well, you're gonna get going into 1 for sure.
That's
Going
a big
into
one.
7, you're gonna get guys that'll try to outbreak going into 7.
Exactly.
You might get something into 2, but
That's what I was thinking too.
It's
Maybe 2, maybe 3.
You're not gonna get any passing 7, 8, 9, 10,
No.
11.
No. Mm-mm.
but you're gonna get guys trying to set up passes.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to set up for the long haul to go into. What is that? 10? No, that's 12, 11.
Yeah, 11 and then 1. It's only an 11 turn course. It's 2.17 miles.
2.17. Wow, and it's a road course, which we don't have enough of. So that's great. I love it. I love road courses because you make a mistake and there's no runoff. There's no, Santino Ferrucci coming back on track. No, there's a concrete barrier you're hitting. So, hey, Herta will be able to take people out indefinitely this time and probably win. Because he always wins when people, screw up in front of him late in the race. Like the last two wins he's got, the only two. What happened? Wilson?
Wilson just tried to jump up on my lap and missed.
He's way too fat to jump that high. What are you doing, you crazy loon?
He wants to be on camera.
Yeah, okay. Here, Wilson, you're on camera. There's Wilson. Where is he? There he is. Look how fat that cat is.
Wow.
Is he not humongous?
Is one fat cat.
He's huge. Yeah, he must have destroyed his mother coming out.
Poor Wilson.
I know. We named him Wilson. It's Willson. Can you figure out why?
No, I can't imagine.
Yeah. No. Why did we do that? Will for willpower and then Wilson for Justin Wilson. Not even joking. That's exactly why we named him that.
Yeah, I don't see. Will should have named his son instead of naming Bo. Name him Wilson. Will's son.
And that was
Hey, I'm Will's son.
We already had the cat before Bo was born, but that makes sense too. Yeah, see, he has to have love. He always has to be petted. This cat can't get enough. Yep. Just like every other color, he's gray. He's a Russian gray / Maine Coon / football. It's a football with legs.
Yeah. Well, there was also other news. I think it was Tuesday. Sebastian Bourdais.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
21 full season ride with AJ Foyt Racing. He will actually make his debut next month at the Harvest Grand Prix at IMS.
Now, is this just for the rest of the season, or is this a two-year deal?
I don't know if it's. I think it's just a 1-year deal for next year, and then these couple of races this year. I'm assuming
That's kind of what I meant, 2 year.
Do St. Pete as well because that's like a home race for Seabass.
Right.
So,
He lives there.
yeah, I'm assuming he'll be there for St. Pete. But yeah, it's awesome to see Sebastian back. I was my buddy, legit IndyCar news guy, said he is not surrendering to retirement. A Frenchman not surrendering to retirement.
He should have 2 years ago.
He should have surrendered years ago.
Yep.
Of course, he needs America to save him.
Legit IndyCar news guy. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Me too.
Oh, hey, what's up, legit IndyCar news guy?
Oh, hey, Frank. Hey, Missy. Congratulations on the house.
Thank you.
Thanks, LIIN.
Follow me on Twitter at LegitIndyNews.
Your accent in 1959 does not match, right? Your bio makes no sense.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The bio for the Twitter of legit IndyCar news guy.
If you got an issue with his account, I'll talk to him.
It should be 1929, 1949, or 59, whatever you got.
He told me that he just got done with the war. The war just ended. They didn't have the race for a few years.
So 49 then.
Back, and they needed all the legitimacy and all the media they could get because after being off for a few years. So he's like, well, I'm a legitimate.
Well, World War I.
Car guy, so he's like, I'll take the job.
Well, he could be a veteran of World War I.
Yeah, but World War I was like shortly after the first few of them.
What is
It, like,
that? What does that mean? Oh, right.
first 3
Two,
or 4
yeah, 1911. Yeah, 1919 or 18. Yeah. Was it 1918? 1918, yeah. So, yeah, okay. 1949, he should be in. Yeah. Anyway, I love that guy. It makes me laugh. It's basically it.
he got to go to the track for the first time ever and do some reporting.
I saw, and he was fighting with some trolls from 4chan.
Yeah, those people tried to get him again, but he doesn't have any of that. They actually tried doing that in the middle of the Rob Howden.
Did they really?
They tried pulling that crap during
They're after you.
Rod's interview, and I wasn't having any of it. Fortunately, it was right at the end, so I was like, "And we're done."
You can ban them, you know.
I know. I just have to. I gotta find a way to change the default privacy so that only fans of our page can comment. But then it's like I can't. It's hard to grow your audience when you restrict who can talk.
Well, you know, if they're our audience, they should be following.
Follow the page for more than 15 minutes.
There you go. And you go on Facebook. It's easy to find. The Indie Sports Car Podcast. There it is.
I'm gonna call my buddy Mark. He'll take care of it.
Right on. All right. So, I don't know. Do we want to grade these races? Because I would say the first race was a 10.
Yeah. Well, and there was one other little piece of news. It's kind of older news, but Scott McLaughlin, Australian V8 Supercars champion, will be making his Team Penske debut in a real car in St. Pete.
And Jimmy Johnson also announced full-time ride with Chip Ganassi. Only road and street courses next year.
Yeah, it's not really a full-time ride, but it's.
So what does this mean for Felix?
I think this is just an extra car.
And isn't it weird that an oval guy from NASCAR? What's that?
Ganassi used to have 4 cars, and then they shrunk to 3, and then down to 2, and now they're back to 3. So Chip has a 4th car.
No,
No issue running a 4th car for.
I mean, out of all the drivers in NASCAR, the only one that's worth his weight in salt is Jimmy Johnson. Okay, so
I mean, could have got Jeff Gordon. I mean, back in the day.
He's retired. So my point being is, you take a driver who is legitimately a really good driver. One of the only drivers that's ever asked to actually do like the Daytona 24, which is funny. But
he actually wanted to do it.
Well, he's good enough to even do it in the first place. My point being is, you take a driver that does primarily ovals and you put him in the road and street course car.
Only road and street courses.
Yeah.
Not even doing the oval.
Well, he's
but he won't do any of the other ovals.
I was gonna say he has to do the Indy 500 because there's no sponsor that will get behind him without that.
Doesn't include the Indy 500.
Exactly, the sponsor has to be. Missy, what do you think? What's your thoughts? You haven't said much.
Sorry. I'm tired. It's been a rough week. What are we talking about?
Oh, now.
Just talk about anything, really, because we're wrapping the show up. I mean, the Jimmy Johnson news was pretty much the last news that I wanted to bring.
Who? Who's that?
Yeah, moving on. We'll find out. So,
Second, babe.
Come on, babe.
He's a NASCAR driver, 7-time NASCAR Cup champion.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Race IndyCar, street and oval, or street and road courses.
Yeah, next year he's going to be racing every street and road course for Chip Ganassi.
That's actually a 2-year deal.
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, he will need it against the greatest drivers.
There's no bump in the run here.
Well, he's a
also
good
got
driver.
on his team, and like Chris Simmons and an amazing engineer. So it'll.
He's got to drive the car still.
The only thing I was worried about was Felix Rosenquist's, ride at Chip. I want to make sure that Jimmy Johnson wasn't coming in and bumping Felix out. That's all I was worried about.
They're going back to a
That would be
4-car.
stupid.
And the reason why Jimmy's doing this, he wants to prove that he's not just an oval guy. There's a reason why he's only doing the road courses, because he says, I'm a better driver than what NASCAR has created this belief that all he can do is drive and make left turns.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
And
Do you see what they're doing to Fontana, by the way?
Yeah, I know. They're making it into a short oval because they're idiots.
They're going to plow it down to nothing.
Yeah, they're going to demolish the track and turn it into a short track so IndyCar can never race there again.
It's Bristol West Coast.
Yeah, it's really what it is. NASCAR's like, we need more short tracks, and this long track here takes up a lot of space and costs money. So let's make it a short track. It'll save money
Well,
and somehow be better.
look, bottom line is anybody who's been a fan of the sport for the last half a decade will still say one of the greatest races they've ever seen is what?
IndyCar Fontana.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Serious race you'll ever see, but also one of the most exciting and most insane races you'll ever see.
Yeah, where it's a miracle nobody died, and I don't what?
Ryan Briscoe almost died. He was filling in Hinch's car because that was the year Hinch got skewered.
Yeah, I know.
Filled in, and Briscoe hit his front wing on the grass in the infield and violently tumbled.
Oh.
Sage Karam made him do that, by the way. Sage Karam forced him into that position and turned him into a lawn dart.
It is.
Just saying. That was the race that ruined Sage Karam's career.
No, I'm pretty sure that race came later on that
No,
year.
that was the beginning of the end for Sage Karam. That was like, listen, breh, you have like one more shot to prove that you're not a total tool.
Yeah, he went almost killing somebody to actually killing somebody in about a month.
Yeah, I mean that's Murphy's Law. I don't pin that on him personally, but
you used to.
Yeah, well, I've grown.
Hard for it.
I've grown. My point being is he's still a tool. And are you frozen or what are you doing?
I shouldn't be.
Okay, no, you're not. You just look like you were like.
Oh, I was.
Missy, was it just me? Or were you looking at like, is Jared okay? Look, okay. And I've seen comments. I know we jump around a lot. And, it's hard to stay on topic sometimes, but, we jump around a lot, so get used to it. Or listen to someone else. Okay. Well, what's that? ADD? Yeah. I've been off my meds for a week. I can't. Yeah. Missy came home today.
It's been a rough week.
Yeah, it has. You have no idea. Oh, God. Anyways, so, yeah.
I've almost got the house together, so.
She does, yeah. I have the house in shambles when she gets home because I can't finish a thing. I start 4 things and then I fall asleep.
Yeah, so
anyways.
I put the computer room together since I painted it last Saturday.
Yeah, she's done a lot of the hard lifting.
Can we see anything?
It looks great. You did a great job.
Oh, I know the painting's great. But there's the computer stuff in it.
You're lucky you moved it.
There you go. That's where the TV's going back there behind us.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, guys. Show them the broken window that I broke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I broke that window.
Oh, there it is. Broken window.
Yeah, been here for a week, broken window. Gotta love it. Anywho, but if you know what, it's good to be back in the saddle again. It's good to be doing this with you guys, and we missed you guys. We didn't go anywhere. Missy just went dark again. She's back.
Darker, fatter, whatever you want to call
it. Both. So at any rate, Jared, what's it been like going to a race? We haven't been to one yet this year, so. Like anything besides racing, being there, because This year, it would have been 11 years straight for us, too, in Mid-Ohio, and we didn't go this year. So it felt kind of sad, but what are you going to do?
It wasn't like any other time I've ever been there. I
How,
mean, there wasn't a whole lot there. The fan village was like empty. There weren't many fans. But the only thing that wasn't different was the racing.
Yeah. It's always great racing. I can't remember the last time I was like, that was a boring race.
Yeah, I did almost play the world's best prank on Paul Tracy, though.
Well,
And I really wish I could have found what I needed to pull the prank off.
do tell.
So I was going to go buy a pair of yellow high heel shoes and leave them on his chair in the broadcast booth
What's that referencing?
when he was hitting on Danica Patrick on Carb Day.
Is that why they had to split them up?
Yeah, because she was wearing sexy shoes, and he's a sucker for sexy shoes, and they were yellow high heels she was wearing.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't he pay, like, BDSM chicks to step on his...
Probably. He is a foot guy. But
Yep.
yeah, I was gonna. Even the NBC broadcast guys I was talking to said it would have been the best prank ever until he found out it was me, and then he would have murdered.
And he would have murdered you.
He literally would have murdered me.
Yeah, yeah. PT is
We would have
insane.
been blacklisted.
But that would have been hilarious if he showed up for the NBC broadcast, and not 2 minutes before he goes on air, he finds a pair of high heel shoes sitting on his chair. I could have. They didn't lock the door. I could have walked in there anytime I wanted before they showed up.
It would have been so worth it. It would have been worth it, dude.
All over Paul Tracy's microphone. I should have.
You would. It would have been worth it. But I love Paul Tracy. I'm really glad that he's still part of the broadcast. He makes the broadcast fun. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You can hate him or you can love him, but he makes the broadcast fun because he doesn't care what he says.
Stupid stuff about Santino Ferrucci and how good he is.
So, yeah. What's the point standings after all this madness that's gone on since we last left you guys?
I had it.
We lost Missy. What happened?
Huh? Oops.
She changed Windows. Yeah, you gotta sign back into StreamYard and then open up a new window when you do that, Missy. Sorry.
I did that by accident.
I've done it before.
Crap. My bad.
Yeah, but look at Pato. Look at my boy right there. P3 in the championship points. I'm not saying he's going to win the championship or anything, but it's I'm just it brings a tear to me eye seeing that.
Oh, definitely your rookie of the year.
Oh, without a doubt. You kidding? Without a doubt. There she is. Good job, Missy. You know what I'm saying? So without a doubt. So Missy, you wanna go down the list of who's where and how many points and all that.
Good point, Greg. I should have known better.
I was gonna say, does Pato count as a rookie?
But Renus is.
I don't think he does.
I don't think Pato counts as a rookie this year.
No, he doesn't.
No, but you know what, Renus, I would say Oliver deserves it. Renus has outperformed like I never thought he would. I'll give him that. However, there's been multiple times this year where I seen what he was doing, and I went, that's a rookie mistake that he just made right there. So, Missy, what are the points, if you want to ramble them off real quick?
Well, Scott Dixon has 456. Joseph Newgarden has 385, or 384, sorry. And Pato has 338. Colton has 327. Will Power has 306. Graham Rahal 301. Masato has 300. Simon Pagino, 277. Hunter Ray, 260. And rounding out the top 10, Santino Ferrucci with 249.
So
Yeah, my boy Santino.
with his great haircut. I'm pretty sure that Dixon is untouchable at this point. I'm pretty sure Dixon's going to win the championship this year. Am I alone here thinking that there's pretty much? I mean, Dixon would have to spin out in the lead of every race from here on out to lose it.
Oh yeah. I mean, Dixon had pretty bad finishes. He finished 10th in both races, which is pretty funny when you say finishing 10th is bad for Scott Dixon.
I know. Especially when he spins out in the lead and then finishes 10th. I mean,
they only have three
that
races
was
left.
all in him. That's one of those rare mistakes. I mean, you come out on cold tires and you're trying to play catch up, so you hit the push to pass, and you know how it is on iRacing. This car is a lot more sensitive to
oh
spinning
goodness!
out because
Even
of the,
trying to leave a pit lane. You
yeah,
kidding?
it doesn't take much to lose it.
I mean,
And
you.
so they hit that push to pass, and it was just enough to put him over the edge.
It reminded me of Road America 2 years ago when he had that in the bag and he just lost it into turn 7 or 5 or whatever you want to call that turn.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Scott said that what happened was he started thinking about his wife and then got distracted and made a mistake. And to which I said, yeah, if I had to think about your wife too, I would get distracted.
Oh, you would definitely play drunk and hide the pickle with her?
I wouldn't get drunk. I want to be as sober as possible.
And that's the kind of quality content you get here. So, anyways, so what do we got coming up? What's the next race?
Next race will be the Harvest Grand Prix.
And in Nashville, right?
No,
No.
Indy.
What?
Indy.
There's only 3 races
Three
left.
races left.
And they are?
The doubleheader at Indy, Harvest Grand Prix, doubleheader.
And St. Pete.
Race in St. Pete. Fun fact, race number 1 of the Harvest Grand Prix can be found on the network of USA.
Why? That's weird. That's awesome, though.
Well, because NBC Sports must not be available because it's a Friday. Friday at 3:30.
But that's race 1. So,
Right.
so is qualifying the same day, or?
I believe it probably will be.
Okay. But you can rest assured that
Qualifying on Thursday.
is it late enough in the day?
6:20.
Oh, cool. Okay, so it's 6:20 to 6:20. Okay, so October 1st, Thursday for qualifications, Group 1 and 2, and races Friday. And I guess they're going to do the same thing they did as qualifying for Gateway. I don't know. Are they?
Same way they did qualifying this past weekend.
Okay, this past weekend. Right? All right.
And
So
the race on Saturday, race number 2 is on regular NBC.
and I'm sure Jared will be on Hot Mic among other platforms.
If I can get to the track, I'll hot mic it from the track.
Yeah, I mean,
Otherwise,
we
we'll
would
be
love to
here.
be there.
On the hot mics.
Yep. I mean, Friday, it's always hard for I'm normally not available on Friday nights, so that sucks. But what can you do? Work comes first. All right, so well, I hope that brought everybody up to speed, and I hope you guys have been enjoying this silly season of the season before. Yeah, this is the silly season before the silly season starts.
Yeah.
Is this
It's the super all season. Or
The-
super all silly.
this is the sillier season?
Yeah, here we go. Crazy.
Yeah, that perfect crazy season. Nice, simple, easy, to the point, and very, very. Yep. Crazy season. That's the best way to put it. Yep. Yep. So, everybody be safe out there. Social distance. Wear your mask. Don't be a Karen. And don't get sick. And hopefully, if we can all do that, kind of like, if the anti-vaxxers would just stop, the measles would not, be back like it is. So just stop, vaccinate your freaking kids, will you?
Just go get tested for uncle bodies.
So get vaccinated and social distance. Wear your mask. Act like there's a virus out there that's
Use the diet.
Wash your hands.
Yeah. Don't lick doorknobs like you like to, and just be safe out there, everybody. And hopefully next year it'll all come back. It'll all get better again, and it'll feel normal again. It's starting to feel normal. The more racing that we get, the more normal it's starting to feel. I say. So.
Actually, getting to go to the track. I mean, today I officiated high school football.
So there you go.
Just a practice game, but it was the first time I've been on the field in almost a year. So I've been to a track and been on the field for the first time in a year. So things are finally starting to feel a little bit more normal. But
do you ever have a problem with your whistle breaking where the little thing comes flying out the top?
in the P, we don't use whistles with P's in it. That's indoor. If you're doing like basketball or hockey, you want that. But when you're outdoors, you don't. I actually have an electronic whistle now.
Oh, cool. Did you name it?
No,
You should.
little Chippy D. I'll name it Lamar because it's long and black.
Oh my God. Okay, so moving on, Missy. On that note.
And on that note, yeah, you know that I know that
Jared's a piece of garbage.
this week, yes, Jared is a piece of garbage, and so is Frank.
Garbage.
You know.
What was that, Jared?